afternoon, good morning, welcome. Wherever you are in the world, I pause for a moment because Facebook is thinking, and I thought it like blipped also right in the beginning. So it's still thinking, so I get to fill a little bit of dead air. I always love this part of Facebook. All right, here we go. I'm going to put my comments in so you will know what we're talking about tonight. All right, here we go. Let's see. Did notifications just come through, I think? Not sure. I thought my phone just showed me notification. Let's see. No, not yet, which means I'm talking. Oh, there we go. Somebody showed up, which means the notifications are going out there now. It's so funny. You just have to sit and wait for Facebook. It takes a little bit of time. So welcome. I'm going to pull it up on my tablet too. I'm glad you're joining me for Table Talk Thursdays. Tonight we're going to be doing self-forgiveness. We're talking about self-forgiveness tonight. How exciting, huh? Just pulling up this live on my laptop, on my tablet so I can follow it. Tony shares for me on Thursdays. Tony's my moderator. But at the same time, you know, she isn't actually here to moderate, so I got to do all that fun stuff today. There we go. The notification just hit me, so it means it probably just hit all of you. Please say hello. Hello, Ruth. I'm glad somebody said hello. Always like to know who's here. I mean, if you don't want to, it's okay too. But to the handful of you, welcome. It is Thursday, Table Talk Thursdays. Every Thursday we pick a different metaphysical, inspirational, or spiritual topic, and this is an open interactive forum. If you're new to it, very much welcome comments. Thank you, Adrian, and welcome. Very much welcome comments, questions, general questions. This is not, hey, Cindy Rose, good evening. This is not readings tonight. I do those on Wednesdays and last minute here and there. So always make sure that you are following and liking my Elyse Ann Psychic page and making sure your notifications are set at favorites. So tonight we're going to talk about self-forgiveness. Hey, Michelle. Michelle, I am so sorry for your loss, sweetheart. I was wondering why I hadn't seen you on my lives. I'm so sorry, sweetheart, for the loss of your mother. Sending lots of love and prayers, darling. Hey, Shakti. Hi, Audrey. How's everybody doing? Hey, listen, you guys. Please feel free to share this on your timeline publicly into groups. Go ahead and tag people in the comments if you'd like to. Always the more the merrier. And I think a couple of you may be new to me here tonight on the Table Talk Thursdays. And I'm so glad you're joining me. Thank you, Shakti, for sharing love. I appreciate that. What was I going to say? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I will admit, you guys, I'm a bit tired tonight. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little exhausted. It's been a day, but I'm here, so just bear with me. We're going to meander. All right. Hey, Will. Hi, Amy. How are you? Welcome to everyone. I'm so glad you're joining me. All right. By the way, I'm going to say this thank you, Ruth, for sharing. I'm going to say this in the way beginning here this time. If there are any other topics that you're interested in, guys, that's what I'm here for. This is me being of service. I've taught metaphysical workshops for a lot of years at community college, adult continuing education level. So I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of sharing, done a lot of teaching. I've done a lot of learning. I always like to learn from you guys and your experiences and your ideas and get your questions. Because the last thing, like I said, that's going to happen is me just talking at you for the hour. It never happens. Just ask Will. Will, look at Tapestry. Look. Thank you, Will. I actually put this one up on my own, and I think overall I did a pretty good job. So thank you. Yes, of course, Michelle. Whenever we lose a parent or any of our loved ones, I know, sweetheart, and especially that it's last minute love. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sometimes we just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and sometimes we have to be kind to ourselves and unplug and allow ourselves the space. All right, sweetheart? Oh, you guys are so awesome. Look at this environment and what we've created here. This is what I love so much. We support each other. We love each other. We're there for each other. It is just awesome. How to unplug and when to know when to. How to unplug. It took me a minute to put together why you were saying that, Will. And what did you ask? How to unplug and when to know when to. All right. Well, look at that one. I think that's a good one. And we may mesh it a little bit, merge it, and mold it. But I think it's a really great idea. I like that. Hi, Christina. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Jen. How's it going? All right. So let's get our ball rolling with this topic tonight. You know, I tend to like to give just a few minutes for other people to join because then otherwise I feel like I'm repeating myself. What I would like, and it's okay for people to join in the middle, don't get me wrong, is just I like to have a gathering of at least a minimum of 10 people so that I'm not constantly repeating myself. Hey, Kelly, how you doing tonight? Welcome. All right, so to each and every one of you that are here, somewhere, if you have a pen and paper or on your phone or whatever, if you can open up Docs or, you know, your Word, whatever it is, what I'm hoping each and every one of you will do, I'm going to give you a minute to sit with it, you know, kind of just think about this for a minute. I'd like each and every one of you to take, tonight obviously is about self-forgiveness. So I'd like each and every one of you to reflect for a few moments. And what is that one experience that you're having the hardest time forgiving yourself for? And I would like for all of you, just write it down, type it out, whatever. Just put it away, you know, get it in your head, write it down, notate it somehow, and then put it aside. All right? And it's not about you, you know, true confessions or anything. We're not doing anything like that. But I'd like you to have an idea of what experience it is that you are just struggling so hard to get past. All right? Okay, so let's talk about self-forgiveness. I mean, there is just so much to go and to talk about. So I may jump around a little bit, you guys. But first and foremost, you know, I don't know, hopefully all of you are following my Elyse Ann Psychic page and see my posts. But I put up a post. I didn't realize how apropos it was till now. It was, I think, I think the beginning of this week. Was it Tuesday? I can't exactly remember. But basically the post states, I do not believe in mistakes. I only believe in opportunities to learn and grow. So let's talk about that a little bit, you guys. So, hey, Sarah, welcome. Glad you're joining us. Let's talk about that a little bit, right? So, we all, I think, can be in agreement that we came to this lifetime to learn and grow, right? We could have stayed on the other side, just lounging around, but we decided it was time to come live another lifetime to grow. That's what our earthly lives are about, right? Each lifetime we come, we look to learn, grow, expand, ascend, right? So let's, hey Crystal, how are you? I'm just seeing your name pop up there. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So, do you all agree that we agree to come here multiple lifetimes, how many ever they are, that to learn and grow and expand? Let's just see some yes, no, whatever, maybe, I don't know. Just a few answers in the comments, please. I'd love to hear it. Glad you're doing well, Crystal. Thank you. I'm doing well. So I'd like to see, you know, do you guys agree with the fact that we agree to come here for lifetimes, different lifetimes? Okay, I got one answer. Yes. Okay, good. Ruth. Okay. And listen, if you don't agree, that's fine, you guys. If you think no, or you're like, I'm not really sure, please answer. This is a no judgment zone. A lot of love and compassion. All right. So I've gotten one. Hi, Jessica. Welcome. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hello, Amanda. Welcome. All right. So, oh, heck yeah. I can't wait to find out what I was thinking, though. Right? Yeah. Oh gosh, I so love it because I have to tell you, I called up my sister. This goes back years ago. I called up my sister and I'm like, look, when we're back on the other side and they say, are there any volunteers to come down, reincarnate and have a lifetime on planet Earth again? If you see my hand going up, just kick me in the backside, because I don't want to do this again for a while. So I'm right there with you, right? Great. Adrian agrees too. I love it. I love it. And Will, okay, awesome. So everybody agrees to this. Okay. Hey, Wendy, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So everybody agrees that we choose this, all right? And my belief system is when we choose to do this, we have a council, and we get together with the council and we decide what we want to learn this lifetime, what experiences we want to have, what people we may want to have in our lives in varying degrees. Okay, we do all of this. It's like a contract. And so Amy says, I love Earth. I'm an Earth star seed. That is awesome, Amy. I'm so glad. We need you guys. This Earth needs a lot of help, right? We're light workers and our Earth workers. Anyhow, sorry. I do this, I jump around a little bit. And so if we contracted to have these experiences, we were meant to. So let's add that into the first thing, I guess I would say, the pile of understanding how to step into self-forgiveness. And so Jen says, LOL, that is my dad and bro say too, but I know they will be back. I know I will too. I know I will too. I know, but I can still say it now. All right, so you're an Earth Angel, Amanda, Crystal Earth, and aspiring light worker. Awesome! Love it, love it. I messed up this last contract with picking friends. Oh, Ruth, you were so funny. Hey, Patty, welcome. I'm so glad you're joining us. I'm hoping you'll stay. Tonight, though, is Table Talk Thursdays. We're talking about self-forgiveness. My regular Psychic Mini Reading live events are Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Arizona time. We're the same Pacific Standard Time right now, Patty, and anybody else that wants to join. I also do last-minute ones, so make sure you're liking and following my Elyse Ann Psychic page, and your notifications are set at favorites. I don't want to forget to do this. Hey, Constance. Hi, you're a new viewer. Well, welcome. So glad you're joining us. This is just a lesson to be learned. All right, Amanda, I'll get back to that in a second. Yes, I know, we're all over, but you're welcome, Patty. I don't want to forget to mention, though, you guys, I got the Zoom gallery style psychic reading event is tomorrow. That's Friday, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Arizona time, 4 to 5:30. You got a message you're wondering if your spirit team is trying to get through to you, or do you have a question for them? Grab a seat, come on over. Go to my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. Go ahead and purchase your spot. I'm running a back-to-school special this month on it, too. It's only $20 instead of $25. Can't beat it, guys. It's only 8 people. Once 8 seats are sold, we shut it down until next month. All right, and the beauty of it, having such an intimate group, there's a lot of common threads that run through most everybody's readings, so you're going to get a lot more meat out of it. It's not just your reading, you're going to hear everybody else's, but because it's intimate, it's a lot of the same threads that go through. All right. Okay. Hey, Opal, I was wondering, darling, when you were going to be here. You were the one who suggested this comment, so welcome. Hello, Denise. Hello, welcome. Thank you for sharing out, Opal. I do appreciate it. Welcome to all our newbies, all our tried and true, to everybody. This is Table Talk Thursdays. I am Elyse Ann Psychic, the Psychic Liaison, Bridge the Unseen. This is one of the ways I give back. Yes, I am a psychic, but I'm also a spiritual teacher. So check out my page. Invite your friends to my page, all that good stuff. All right. Tonight we're talking about self-forgiveness. If there's a different topic going forward you want me to speak about at some point in the future, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Let me know, because this is for you guys. All right. So we agreed to this, right? Okay. And so in many ways, we agreed to have all different types of experiences, right? Hey, Janie, how are you? Welcome. Glad you're joining us. So we chose to have all these different experiences, and the reason we did was to grow our soul, to learn, to grow. So many of us, myself included, I've learned to get past it now, get mired in the self-sabotage, self-beating up, if you will, the harshness, the criticism, the judgment, the negativity. And thank you, Opal, for that plug. And so for some, we fight a little bit the human side of ourselves. All right. Because we are conditioned as human beings to find blame, figure out who's blame and who's to blame, whose fault is it. And then when we figure out whose fault, or maybe there's many people involved that have a hand in it. Hey, Dana, how are you? Welcome. And for some reason, we can either justify it then and be angry at that person, or angry with ourselves. It seems the human condition is we have to blame. We have to judge it. We have to blame. It's got to be somebody's fault. Well, what if you both contracted? What if that other person or other people agreed before you came down to this planet, okay, in this lifetime, to help each other out in that way? I've mentioned this again recently, not that long ago, and I'm going to mention it again, because when I talk about these kind of things, this is the book that always pops in my head. Still say, I gotta buy myself a copy. I don't have one yet. I don't know why. I just say it every time. Anyhow, The Little Soul and the Sun by Neil Donald Walsh. It is a children's book. Well, it's written more for children, I should say, to help them understand, but it is the most beautiful book. It talks about how people show up in our lives to be that dark angel, if you will. If you came down to learn something, they agreed to help you learn it. Well, how can you learn compassion if you weren't hurt, right? Or how can you learn happiness if you didn't learn sadness, and maybe somebody created that sadness in an experience with you or to you or for you? All right. Many times we look at that other person and we're just so angry. How could you do that to me, or what have we? Or we look at ourselves. Well, why didn't I do it differently? Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I do that? Why did I allow it to happen? What's wrong with me? I never do anything right. Oh my God, it's so crazy. I just don't know what I mean, these are all the self-sabotaging negative words, and I'm sure there's plenty others. Plenty others. Opal says every day, all day, I blame myself for everything. Okay. Well, this is part of what we're talking about, all right? So when it comes to things for ourselves, okay, and self-forgiveness, we contracted for a lot of this, you guys. We asked for it. Now, this is where we start to go, okay, let's do the deep dive. All right, so I asked to have this experience. However, I'm pretty, like you're saying to yourself, I'm pretty sure I had some sort of choice in how I went about it. Or, gee, why didn't I just do that? I mean, now I can look at it, but, and say, well, I could have done this, that, this, or that. Or said this, done that, this. Or not put myself in that situation, right? But 5 years ago, when it was all going on, you weren't in that space that you are now. You were in that space 5 years ago. Why am I saying that? You're in that space with the tools you had, and the knowledge you had, and the experiences you had, and the whole of who you are at that moment in time 5 years ago. So why am I saying that? Because to me, it's, if we had you did the best you could in the moment in time with the tools that you had. If you weren't taught, what was that? Falling over, I can't even speak. If you were not, you see I'm all dramatic tonight. If you were not taught calculus, how can you be expected to do calculus? I mean, I don't mean to simplify it, you guys. There's a lot that goes into it. But if you really take it down to brass tacks, all of us, when we can't get out of that self-forgiveness, it comes down to we didn't know. All we knew was we went as far as division. in math. We didn't know calculus. Yet you're holding your hand to the fire, you're holding your feet to the fire, you're blaming yourself, you're shaming yourself, you're judging yourself because you did what you did 5 years ago, or a year ago, or 3 months ago, or 10 years, whatever it is. Okay? So, Amy says a ton of that self-sabotage is conditioning from the ages 0 to 7. Oh, we're conditioned. Oh, are we conditioned? Absolutely, Amy. Cindy says, oh, hi, Cindy. Welcome. Ruth, but man, it hurts going through it. Oh, girlfriend, don't I know it? I am a survivor. And so I've done the deep dive, and I'm still going through a massive shift right now. So, oh yeah, it hurts, and it can be exhausting. But this is where we need to honor that too. All right, so let's keep going because there's a lot more I have to say about all of this. And please keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming. Will, I saw something from you a while ago, didn't I? The difference between a light worker and an earth worker. You know, to be honest, I'm going to let one of you answer it. One of you who consider yourself an earth worker. Is it that you are more, because I'm not positive on the answer, and I know I'm kind of digressing back, but somebody asked about that. Will asked about that. You know, there are some people that are very much here as elementals, to work with Mother Nature and with the earth and to move through the cycles with Mother Earth. Some of that runs in the pagan religion, which I know some people, whoa, pagan, oh my God. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not here to convince anybody, but quite frankly, really all it's about is cycling with Mother Earth and paying attention to Mother Earth and nature. And that's the religion. It just has a bad connotation because, as always in anything, there are people on the extremes. All right. So, Adrian says, thank you. I'll catch up later as I need to call it a night for you. All right, Adrian. Well, please know, Adrian, that my lives are always posted after they're completed. So you can always go back and finish the replay, watch it again, and go through the rest of it. So I welcome you to do that. I'm so glad you joined us tonight. Ruth says, got to take care of yourself through the process. Awesome. Jessica says, I'm both. Okay. Does anybody want to give, any of you that consider yourself an earth worker, do you want to give what your definition in the comments or what you consider it to be? Because I was just taking an educated guess, to be honest. I'm not really sure. I never kind of really, probably have heard it, but it never really lodged in my brain. Cindy says, amen to being a survivor. We are here for a reason. Absolutely. You know, I have a friend of mine who's also a survivor, and she started saying, you know, we should say we're thrivers. But you see, I haven't said it yet so much because I think that people don't understand what it is, but that is. Survivor, we're thrivers. We're here, we're standing. And you know why? Because we're here to help others too. So yeah. So yeah, more power to us. I mean, we got through it, right? That's what I thought it was. Thanks, Elyse. I'm both then. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what that means. All right. Well, I think the explanation I gave. So, okay, Jamie. Oh, good, Jamie. Okay, here comes Jamie with a good. As a Virgo and someone who relates significantly with the goddess Athena, the earth is in need of our support through using her wisely, just as we would do with Father God. All right. So is that what you're saying is an earth worker, somebody who's actually looking at these things through a using, preserving her? Is it, you know, I'm just trying to understand. So that's what I would like to know, if you don't mind. Amanda says, I'm still learning. I've been on my spiritual journey for 4 years. Well, darling, I think this is my own personal opinion, I think once we are on the spiritual journey, I think there's very few that give it up. Because it's a beautiful place to be, and the more and more you are in it, the more and more you learn all these tools, even about self-forgiveness. You know, you guys, it's a big ball that just wraps up self-worth, self-forgiveness, self-love, self-deservedness, manifestation, creation. I mean, just like everything's all wrapped up, right? So So our spiritual journey is always a journey of opening up, expansion, ascension, whatever it is. And it's a beautiful place because the more we embrace it, I almost want to say the easier it gets to navigate it because we're stronger in the tools we have to navigate it. All right, let me see. So Amy says the earth has energetically vibration, yes, and ley line. It's about tapping that source to benefit the all. So the earth has energetically vibration and ley line. I've never heard that one, Amy, but thank you for that. I'm gonna look into that. I mean, I'm always giving, Mother Earth love and surrounding her and all that stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out, maybe I guess in some ways I'm also trying to figure out, am I also considered an earth worker? Just curiosity. All right, Amanda says, hi, I'm Amethyst Panda, aka Anna. Okay. All right. Okay. Amanda, I really appreciate you being here, but I have to be honest, coming onto my live and marketing yourself, really, I'm not comfortable with that. So I'm going to ask you to refrain from doing that. I am glad you're here. However, this is my live, and I wouldn't feel comfortable going to anybody else's live trying, marketing myself to try and get clients. So I am going to delete your message. I'm giving you a lot of love and light with it, but I have to do that because I'm sorry, there's professional boundaries with it. So I am deleting your comment, darling. All right, thank you. All right. So Jen says, can't put the cat back in the bag once spirit and energy become known. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, not to harp on me. I know we've all gone through things, but I gotta tell you, I've had quite the month. You guys kind of know about it. I gotta be honest, had I not had all my spiritual tools, I honestly, it was so, wow, I don't know. I don't know if I could have made it. I mean, I would have, but what kind of condition? So yeah, no, my spiritual tools, all these tools and some of what I'm talking to you about, I mean, these are what helps me navigate life, and I'm happier than I've ever been. I mean, yeah, I struggle like every other human being, you guys. I definitely am on this planet for my own purposes too. So Jessica says, I am an earth angel. Angels are light. We are one. Awesome. I love it. Okay, Jamie says, yes, supporting the earth's natural balance, and when we use her to heal ourselves, we are also helping her. When we strip her of love life, we harm her if we're not purposeful about it. All right, cool. Okay, Jen, I'm going to get back to that. We are meandering because that's, I get it. I know we're going to get back to it. It's just the meandering is part of going with the flow, sweetheart. So we're going to get back to some more of the tools. Thank you, sweetie. I hear you. Okay. Will says, kind of like yin yang, you got to balance light with darkness. Earthworker and lightworker. Yeah, I like that. Good for you, Elyse. Karma, Amanda. Jamie, thank you. That was about me. Yeah, I had to delete it. I'm sorry. That's just unacceptable. Anyhow, thank you, Ruth. I appreciate it. Okay. So, Jen, we're getting back to the tools. Thanks for pulling us back, Jen. Sometimes we need that reminder. I appreciate it. All right. So the first thing, some of the things I talked about already is understanding that these things happen for a reason. They're not just random. Thank you, Will. Thank you. I know I feel that way too. You do too about my tapestry. Thank you. So first and foremost, really honestly, if we can look at things as we signed up, it's a growing process. We asked to learn these things. So let's say you're on the other side and you say, you know what, I want to learn compassion. Okay? This lifetime I want to learn compassion. And so I'm writing down her name, Amy's, so I remember to, yeah, anyhow, I got paper, admin work to do afterwards. Sorry, I just want to make sure I remember that. All right. So if we want to learn compassion, then if we haven't learned it yet, how does a person learn something? They can read a book. However, when it comes to feelings, emotions, those kind of things, the compassion, the grace, the love, you can't, those kind of things need experience to understand them. And how can we understand, let's say, compassion if we have not experienced lack of compassion? And usually that is from others, because we have to experience it from others, and also lack of compassion for ourselves. But the best way we're going to learn it is from others. If others treat us without compassion, we start to understand, well, that wasn't very nice, that wasn't very compassionate. Oh my gosh, now I understand what it is to not be compassionate. Let me see, I think I like compassionate better. I know I'm kind of simplifying this, you guys, but really it kind of comes down to that. We have to have the opposite experience to learn compassion, the love, the joy, whatever that emotion is. We have to know both sides. Otherwise, we have no reference point. How do we understand hot if we don't know what cold is? We would have no reference point. It's the same thing with these experiences. So, when you start to get in these places, let's dig deep now, guys. When we start to get in these places, okay, and I get it, I used to blame myself for everything. Number one, we are perfectly imperfect human beings. There is no such thing as a perfect human being, so you need to let it go. I know it sounds simplistic. It's not, I get it, but it's the truth. If you were perfect and didn't make, okay, I don't use the word mistakes. In my life, those don't exist, but I'll use it for some of you. I think it's very in our culture, so our society uses it a lot. Okay, how are you going to learn if you don't make those mistakes? If life was all a bowl of cherries, you knew exactly what to do and there were no issues, you wouldn't be here. So instead of blaming and shaming and asking, why did I do that and how come I do that? How about we stop? Take a nice deep breath. Try to be aware when you start to beat yourself up. Pause. And say, okay. Looking back, now I know it would have been, it would have been more advantageous for me to do things differently. Or now I know what I could have done, understanding it from the backside and seeing everything that unfolded. Right? And then we say it's not about blaming on, well, you should have done that then. No, it's about, okay, I didn't do that. I did this instead. What did I learn? What are the gems that we can mine from the experience? There's no accident. There's no coincidences. As far as I'm concerned, everything is orchestrated. Everything is divine. That's the way I believe. Serendipity. It's all for purposes of our growth. So if we came here to grow and we all really want to grow, you're with me. Right, you're here tonight, tells me you absolutely want to grow. Well, how are you going to do that? If you have no experiences of the contrary, then there's no opportunity to grow. Now, don't get mad at yourselves for asking for it, but you did. And we can spend all this time. Look, guys, we know this. We can't change it. It's done. Do I have things in my past? Oh, let's not even go there. Absolutely. But I put away blaming myself, shaming myself, judging myself, criticizing myself a long time ago. And I say to myself an awful lot, if I knew then what I know now, could have done it differently. Or I did the best I could in the moment in time with the tools that I had. That's a biggie for me. So you can either spend all your time blaming yourself, being upset with yourself, and just constantly rotating and gyrating and spinning and going over and over and over it. But you're not accomplishing anything but a lot of negativity and beating yourself up. So let me ask all of you this. Let me ask all of you this. We all have people we love in our life, besties, partners, whatever it is, right? We all have people we love and adore in our lives. So let's take your experience. Take your experience. that you wrote down in the beginning, and some of you came afterwards, and I forgot to mention it again. Basically, I said, I asked everyone, write down, type out, whatever, get in your brain, and experience one of the hardest experiences you've had one of the experiences you've had that has been hardest to let go of, like to allow you to not blame yourself, okay? So where was I going with that? All right, so instead of the blame game, then take that experience and stop and say, okay, if my best friend, my lover, my boyfriend, my husband, my wife, my whatever child, even adult children, we're in that situation and it went down the way it did, would I stay for 20 minutes, an hour, a year, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, blaming that person, constantly judging them? Why did you do that? 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 I would have to hope, no, you would afford your bestie, your lover, your whoever, your partner, the grace and the compassion. And you would say, look, it didn't work out the way you envisioned, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Don't blame yourself. It's okay. We would hug them, support them, give them love, give them compassion. We would embrace them. Why are we saying some of the worst things to ourselves that we ever could? Words we would never utter to another. So a lot of these tools are there. It's up to all of you to pause and stop. Now, some of you may say to me, gosh, it's so ingrained and that's all I do. And I keep going back and forth. I'm sorry, I got distracted by a comment again. I told you guys I was tired tonight, so I do apologize. I know I've gotten distracted a couple times. That's why I kind of gave you a heads up to bear with me. I've had kind of an exhausting day, but I wanted to be here tonight. So I apologize. I kind of lost my train of thought there. If somebody wants to throw it in the comments, I'm happy to go back to it. So support yourself. Give yourself love. Understand that you desired for these experiences so you could grow. Guys, there's just no way to be on a spiritual path without having these experiences that help us grow. And some of them are so painful. And I mean emotionally, right? So have compassion for yourself. Now, also, let's look at how you're able to forgive others. Lots of us are able to just let it go for others, but we seem to want to keep blaming ourselves. Some of this is a deep dive. Look at your past, your upbringing, some things that like you were told over and over and over again. That's going to hold some of the key to an awareness as to why you are in this patterning. Did somebody tell you when you were younger that you were always wrong? Were you always blamed? Were you told you weren't good enough? I mean, there's all kinds of these things that occur. Guys, there is no magic bullet but working it. I have to be honest. It's working it. It doesn't have to be hard work. However, I got to tell you, when you can finally let go, understand that you contracted for this. Understand there's a reason there's a reason you're going through it. You think I had a grand old time with the flood in my other apartment? I had to move, in a day and a half. I mean, no. However, I'm looking at the experience and going, okay, I don't know all the answers as to why yet. Maybe I won't ever, but I got to know there's a reason. So if you're going to hold some of that, it takes some of the emotional charge out of it. That's what I'm trying to get to. Even if you struggle with not blaming yourself and judging yourself and things like that, at least attempt to take some of that emotional charge out. It can help to soften it some as you're working your tools to bring you backwards from there, from blaming and judging and always pointing a finger. And the other thing is, guys, we can spend all of our time, all of our life, all of our energy constantly living in the past. Look, we cannot change it. Excuse me. Pardon me. Um, I'll catch up on the comments in a minute. I did it again. All right. Let me go into the comments. So sorry, guys. I am really tired tonight. I apologize. Thank you for bearing with me, everyone. I am so sorry. I was in the middle of it, and then again, tells you how tired I am tonight. If somebody wants to put it in the comments, I'll pick it up again. I do apologize, like I said. Okay, sharing their experiences and being receptive to those of others. We all have things to learn from each other, absolutely. And you know what, guys? I have to be honest. Look at your own life and understand. You've probably been that dark angel also for someone else. We cannot change the past. It is done, guys. So we can either waste all our time lamenting over and over and over and over and over and over about the situation, or we can take all that energy that we're expending and put it to the future. How can you blame yourself when you were in spirit, you chose this? You wanted it because you knew it was going to help you. Instead of looking at these things as mistakes and, oh my God, how could I? How about you get a little excited about it? Wow, look at that. Well, what can I mine out of this one? Because obviously spirit has more for me to grow. Woo! I'm asking to grow. They're delivering it. So let's change it. I love that, spirit. I'm getting chills all over my body. That's the first time I've gotten that one. So let's change it all around. Look at it from a different perspective. What a beautiful gift. Yeah, when we're going through it, oh gosh, sucks, pardon my French. But hey, afterwards, let's go, oh wow. Another piece for me to grow through. How exciting. That means I'm that much closer and I'm getting closer. That means I'm progressing because Spirit has given me something else to work through. All right? So look at it something like that. Okay, let me go into these comments. I would like to know the reason of some of these experiences. Sometimes I know, sometimes I have no clue. Ruth, you know, I understand that. And I can appreciate that because I am one, the way I kind of show up in the world is like I always like seem to want to have an explanation or an understanding. I struggle with that a little bit too because not everything is for us to know. There are reasons we're not to know. Sometimes we're just a catalyst, but our presence alone, we're not supposed to be involved, let's say even. All right, so be the best you can of being open that, or understanding that we're not to know always. And there is a reason for it. Some things we just have to do our best to let go. Being open to the understanding and compassion is the best way to start. I like that, Denise. Thank you. Yes, it's about compassion. We can give it to others. We can give compassion and grace. We can allow people to, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, I know you didn't mean, oh, you did your best. Or don't worry about it. I get whatever. We're great at comforting, consoling, and giving compassion and grace to everyone else. Let's start feeding ourselves that. Because guess what? None of us are perfect. And yet we strive and we beat ourselves up for not being perfect. I am a reformed perfectionist. I know all about it. All right, so looking at the root of this experience helps to bring clarity. I like that, K-Bear. Thank you. Kelly says, and I know I'm about 10 minutes behind, guys. I'm sorry about that, but sometimes that happens with the comments. I ran across a great quote. I don't lose, I win, or I learn. Nelson Mandela. I like that. I don't lose. I win or I learn. I think they're one and the same. That's why I'm reading it again. I think winning and learning are one and the same in many ways. Thank you for that. We gain wisdom from the journey. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I say that, oh, I did what I could. I get that. I prefer to reflect rather than blame. I like that too. You guys are coming up with all these great, I say we're perfectly imperfect all the time. I like that. Whoever's commented, I can see it popped up on my tablet, but I haven't quite gotten to it in the row of comments. Okay, Jen says, a tool I learned, I try to look at past situations as if I were a different person, just like different witness accounts. Thank you for bringing this up. There is definitely something I want to talk about. Making a note so I don't forget. Okay. Okay. Just like different witness accounts of the same event can be different, I allow my view from the present to be just as true as my view from back then. Both views could be true, but the new view allows learning, letting go. I like that. Why we were so mean to ourselves. It's all the beating up. Okay, I don't think I'm going to go back to it. I think obviously we were supposed to drop at that point, so yeah. Okay. You were doing great. Real. It is a passionate subject. Thank you, Cindy Rose. Thank you, Opal. Yeah, I apologize because I know it can be kind of distracting and somewhat disturbing for you guys as the audience when I lose track or, things like that. I try not to, but I'm a perfectly imperfect human. Woo! All right. K-Bear, why are we so critical of ourselves? I think it's something we adopt from our society and family. Absolutely. If you look at society, if you look at our culture in America, but in society in general, across, it's all based in negativity. Fear, negativity. Yeah, society, our upbringing, that's why I did the deep dive on my journey. I come from a very negative background. It's all it was in the household. Very, very negative. Lots of lack, lots of negativity. And I worked to change it around. And my life is so different because of it. But society can do that. That's why also, you guys, I do the work that I do. Let me bring this to your awareness. Let me start to help, So, okay, Denise says, if we treat ourselves the way we treat others, we would be holding our heads up high all the time. I like that, Denise. Thank you. Guys, you got some great comments. You can't change the past. Yes. K-Bear. Forgive yourself. We all get distracted when we are tired. I forgive myself. I'm just not necessarily the happiest with it. I always strive to do the best I can do. But I guess that's what I'm doing right now. So thank you. Woo! Thank you for that reminder, darling. I appreciate it. See, guys, I'm human too, man. I want that journey. Opal, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. K-Bear says, I've noticed I learn the reasons when I'm prepared to. Yeah, most times. But I got to tell you, honestly, I don't believe we ever always know all the reasons. There are times that we are not to know. Spirit put us where we need to be for whatever purpose it was. And we may not know the reason. Like, for example, you guys, I tend to smile at people or say hi to people. Used to be all the time. I wear my mask when I'm indoors in places, but that's just for me. That's the way I like it, and for others. But I still like when I'm outside, I won't be wearing my mask. Or in the past, I always smile. I don't wonder why or know why. Who knows? Maybe it did make a difference in somebody's lives. Maybe it did. I just do what I do, So, oh yeah, I know. I'd love to know sometimes too. I like that, Jamie. Thank you. Imperfect. I'm perfect. I am perfectly imperfect. That's awesome. Hi, Nellie. Welcome. Welcome. All right. Okay, so I was watching the rest of you guys with your comments. All right, cool. All right, so let me go to, I want to talk about one other thing, as we wind down tonight. One of the things that truly, truly helped me to stop blaming myself so much, because I was the queen of it. It was a nonstop. Okay, I get it, Opal. I get it, and I get it, everyone else, because I was the queen of it. I never did anything right. It was always my fault and never good enough. I mean, whole 9 yards. You think it? I thought it. All right. There's a book out there by Colin Tipping, Colin, tipping, like tipping a table, tipping, chair tipping over, whatever. It's called Radical Forgiveness. I had to think about the name for a moment. And he talks a lot in that book. I read that a long time ago. And he talks a lot in that book about earthly forgiveness versus spiritual forgiveness. And what is this about? This has everything to do with understanding that we are two beings. Okay? We are the human having the human experience, and we can see all these things through that lens, which is usually the lower vibration, blame, shame, whatever, all of that, right? Why did it happen? Why did they do that to me? Who, right? Why? But there's also a whole other aspect to look at situations, experiences from, and that's the spiritual side of it. Just where I started. Just realize that, there are spiritual reasons. So why are you going to blame yourself when you were meant to? You were meant to have that experience. So you could either look at it and go, wow, I did great, or maybe I do this. Whatever it is, there is a spiritual reason you have had this experience. And when we can start to separate the two, it allows us that space, expanse, and energy space to look at things from the spiritual aspect. And here, I'm so sorry, some people left, but here is one of the huge keys to all of this, you guys. Once you can separate it out, you can start to understand and appreciate these experiences and love them and love the people involved. That's tough. I get it. It takes me some time. It still does from time to time. But I'm pretty good now at sending a lot of loving energy. It gives us a whole nother way to take out the harshness, to take out the self-judgment and the blame and the I can't get past it and I'm beating myself up. Again, there is a reason you had that experience. So why lament it? Why bemoan it? Why beat yourself up over it if it was meant to happen? Just look at it for the gems you can mine from the experience. What can you take from it that will allow you to grow and expand? Because that's why they happen. Do we get it right every time? Is there a right or wrong? Do we do our best in the moment in time? Absolutely. It's just like a child, a baby, an infant. Let's talk about an infant for a minute. Infant rolls over. Okay, great. Infant crawls. You're like, great. Walk. And the infant isn't walking. Walk. The infant isn't walking. The infant isn't supposed to walk yet. So it doesn't matter what we think it should have been, how it should. We asked for it to be, and we did the best we could. The infant isn't ready to walk yet. They don't have the tools. They haven't learned how. You're going to yell at them, be mad at them, blame them, shame them? No. Now, in some ways that's a little simplistic, but it is the same thing. It's an analogy, and it holds the same energy when I say it's the same thing. It's the same concept. Baby is incapable of walking, has not learned how to yet. Yet you're blaming yourself because you haven't learned how to yet. Get it, guys? I hope that made sense, because I think that really kind of, Opal says, wow, a light went off in me. Woo! I love it. I love it. I always trust Spirit in their words. I know they put it out there that way. They guide me in all of this, you guys, so that is awesome. All right. Cindy Rose, yes, 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 yes. So many wise old sayings came from experience through generations. I have to admit, the older I get, the more I've said the same thing. I'm like, wow, look at that. Yep, now I understand. Right? It's absolutely true. We had it so we can come be with you tonight. There you go, Ruth. I love it. Opal and everybody. Woo! A light went off. Guys, that is so why I do what I do. I love it. I love it. Yay. Okay. K-Bear says encourage them, allow them to blossom when they feel ready. Absolutely. Absolutely. Truth. Okay. Oh my God, I am smiling so big. Opal. Mwah! Thank you. You are on your path, your journey, darling. Let this be the beginnings of a lot of growth, a lot of love, a lot of light, and a lot of joy, girlfriend. That's great. I love it. I love it. We have to be our own loving parent now. Absolutely. We have to be our own loving person to ourselves, right? We have to love ourselves first. You guys have to. I still use that word a lot. And I'm catching myself more and more because that's one I want to eradicate out of my vocabulary. That's what I do. There's certain words I've eradicated. They show up every once in a while, but anyhow, I digress. So, Now that we've gotten to there, what I would like to say to each and every one of you, that experience, that situation, and Cindy Rose says every day, absolutely. Whatever that we had you write down, mentally note, type in the computer when we first started this live, that experience, it's the toughest for you. Now that you've come through this live with me and have gotten some tools and we've shared so many great things, you guys, it's awesome. This is why I love I love all that I do, and I love these table talks. I learn too an awful lot, so it's great. Take that experience back out tonight, tomorrow, over the weekend, and apply some of what you learned tonight. And just see what kind of progress and growth and what gems you might be able to mine out of that experience, and start looking at it in a different way. And then you'll start to see it in a different light, and then you can take all those experiences whenever you're ready and do the same thing whenever you're ready. All right, guys? So, I want to remind you, don't forget, Zoom Gallery Psychic reading event, gallery style psychic reading event tomorrow night. There's still some seats available. It's only $20. Get it while it's hot. And I know so many people come on and they're like, I have a question. Well, have you been wondering what your spirit team's trying to say to you, or do you have a question you want to answer? Just go ahead and grab one of the spots. Go ahead and purchase your spot. Let's see you tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check it out on my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com. Tell you about the event. And the name of the book. Okay, Radical Forgiveness. Yes. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it was life-changing for me. I've read, there are 2 books in my life I've read that I felt were like major catalysts for me. That was one of them. It allowed me to look at it in a different perspective. It was just life-changing. The other book, in case you're interested, is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm into all of them, but the biggest one, the one agreement that I'll tell you turned my life upside down in a very positive way is don't take it personally. I was the queen of that too. Oh, I held the crown on a lot of stuff, you guys, before my deep dive healing. Woo! All right, so anyhow. Okay, you guys, thank you for being here and staying with me this evening. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Jen, I hope you're still here. I hope we got to your tools the way you'd like me to. Sorry I got meandered along the way. Sometimes it happens, but I appreciate Jen Acker that you got me back on track there. I really do. So to each and every one of you, Jen Acker, are you still here? I hope you are. So I hope you heard me say that. Let me know if you're here. If not, let's invite her to the replay. Let her hear it. So everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, sending much gratitude. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Hope to see you real soon. Like and follow my Elyse Ann Psychic page. Like to see you as an avid follower. All of you. Opa, I'll see you tomorrow at the Zoom event. Absolutely. Hopefully some of you will decide to join us. I don't think you can beat that deal, $20 for that. Anyhow, thank you everyone so very much. Be well. See you soon, guys. Bye.